and get straight to the point. I wanted to stop by real quick. I know I told y'all that I see you on Sunday, man. But I guess we could say surprise. But on a serious note, right? Uh Looking at I got the alert earlier today that Trayvon Diggs is out for the season in regards to the knee injury. Now I don't know if it's the same leg or in regards to the surgically repaired knee, but this is a ongoing thing that is concerning for the Dallas Cowboys, right? Uh, Look, hear my thing. The Dallas Cowboys have numerous injuries, especially the past few years, that is taking players longer to come back from. And when they do come back, something else happens in regards, or the same injury happens. This has been a reoccurring thing for a little while with the Dallas Cowboys. You know, uh, and one thought that comes to my mind, right, is DeMarvion Overshown. So DeMarvion Overshown, even though that had the injury was just a freak accident, right? Freak injury, right? My thing is, if we have an incompetent training staff, right, medical staff, strength and conditioning staff, right, how is we going to have confidence that a player like DeMarvion Overshown, who definitely needs some different training in the offseason, how are we going to be confident that they are going to uh, piece DeMarvion Overshown back to the way that he's supposed to be, or stronger than where he was uh, where he was currently left off at? You know, because like for instance, Saquon Barkley, right? Let's use him for an example. Saquon Barkley, especially this year, we know Saquon has had injury problems, but you can tell this year alone, Saquon Barkley has made adjustments to his training regimen, which has contributed to him being healthy this year. What's going on, y'all? That's something to think about, right? Off the rip, Saquon has made training adjustments, training adjustments to have a healthy year, right? Understandably, why the Giants got rid of him, not even off of just of a player point of view, right? But a health point of view. We a rebuilding point of view, so don't think it was just because it wasn't they didn't want Saquon back. But what the hell, man? These motherfuckers tripping, man. If I got a Moz, man, kick old boy out, man. They tripping in this mug, man. Come on, man. What kind of man? Come on, man. We don't do that, man. Shit, nigga. You must have thought that I was Caleb Williams or something. Motherfucker, we ain't on that, man. But yeah, man. Uh, yeah, man. But this man made me lost my thought with that motherfucking shit, man. This motherfucker thought I was Caleb Williams in this motherfucker, man. What's going on with you, big fella? That ain't it, man. Yeah, ain't coming through, man. And it didn't come through and hey, you done said that fruity ass shit and ain't even give your boy no likes, man. What's up with that, my boy? You know what I'm saying? What's going on with that? But yeah, man. Yeah, I think Caleb Williams got a YouTube. So if you was looking for that, I think you was on the wrong one, my boy. But anyway, man, yeah, that training staff is trash. Bland came back later than what he was supposed to. Off the rip, that come on, I'm telling you, it's something. It's everything they have to do with this training staff and getting players back on time and getting players ready to play. These players is not being ready to play with this weak ass training staff. This trash, like this, is my thing, right? Everybody and their mama want to go ahead and talk about this new school and this new way of training. Hey, look, man, I be looking at some of the way that these new players be training. Hey, man, that a straight trash, straight trash, man. No foul. I see why that they getting hurt, man. Like this is just straight trash. Remember, like life. Share it to you. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yeah, man. This new way of doing things, just like they talk about this new way of calling plays, straight trash, man. Straight trash. Straight trash. Like I said, everything is just being watered down, soft. The standard of doing things, and whether it's going by football standards or even getting these people done in training standards, is it's the level has went way down, and it's impacting these players, right? Like for the commissioner to be making the league so soft and having all these rules and these contact rules and protecting these players, you see an increase in injuries, right? Like in regards to the quarterback situation alone, like especially in these past 2 3 years, I have seen a whole lot of injuries to these quarterbacks that you wouldn't normally see. Now there's an instance yeah, there will be injuries to quarterbacks though, but for a good while, you see the majority of the time, right? Other than a couple quarterbacks, you'll see that them players, uh, they will be playing the majority of their games. You know, like you can see, like you can see let's go ahead and go to Derrick Henry real quick, right? Uh, Derrick Henry is a player that had wear and tear on him and continues to have wear and tear on him. But because the way he trains, 'cause I see a lot of isolation movements, especially in the leg part with Derrick Henry, right? Like Derrick Henry, I guess you can see he done adopted some new stuff though, but he invests in his body. And for somebody that takes them hit and that takes them volumes of carries, he's healthy for a good part. He's healthy. But you got these players, right, who don't take the amount of contact, who don't have the wear and tear on them, right? And you could tell that they ain't training the way that they supposed to be training and take care of their body the way that they supposed to be taking care of their body, right? Right? Because I know a part of that has to do with the players too, right? I know it ain't all on the trainers though, but there is the trainers is weak. I know it ain't all on the trainers though, because it has something to do with the player investment. But you can see the difference, right? Just like Ezekiel Elliott, right? Ezekiel Elliott wasn't supposed to be washed as early as he got washed in his career. But you could tell, right? Zeke Elliott be having weight issues at times. You could tell that he wasn't invested in his body the way that he should. They drinking, right? They smoking, right? Doing all that hookah and all that stuff. And they're supposed to be premium athletes. All of that is all of that is deteriorating your body. So if I got the young athletes watching me, young athletes, you need to invest in your body and invest in it now. You need to take care of yourself, right? You need to put that liquor down. You need to put that smoking down, man. You need to eat better foods, right? Because they sit over there and talk about how fasting. Like one thing I knew that Derrick Henry, when Derrick Henry talking about he pretty much don't eat his first meal and eat one big meal at 4 o'clock. After what is it? After 4 o'clock, I know off the rip, right? PC see a lot of these people that's in this industry, they're misinformed in regards to eating times and yada yada yada. They're misinformed in regards to that. So, it's up to the player to educate themselves, because a lot of these people that's supposed to be assisting them ain't educated to go ahead and assist you to get your body or to give you knowledge to be able to take care of yourself. Just like, you know they talk about the NFL that they got all these classes, right, to help them financially. Well, if that's the case, they got all these programs in place. Then why are a lot of these players coming up broke during the season and after the season? Well, I thought that they were supposed to be going ahead and educating these players. Because, especially when you know that these players done came from nothing, right? And regardless, right? Um, Yeah, there's gonna be some players that's gonna be ignorant to it, that's gonna still do what their own thing, even with the information. But a lot of them players want to continue to live the lifestyle that playing football has gave them. So you you know what I mean. So but then like I said, I understand that they got their individual parts right, getting influenced by family. They want to live a certain type of lifestyle, but don't have the means to do it. Right, they want to go ahead and buy that jewelry, that big ass car, and yada yada yada, and they not growing their money. Right. One thing Jerry said that I wholeheartedly agree with is that he said that anybody can make some money, but you got to be smart to keep it. So I agree with that wholeheartedly. Dak Delusional said, old school training better. We didn't get those. Yeah, man. I agree. I agree. I never had them either, man. If I ever had something, right, it probably was my own doing, or I could pinpoint anything that I did wrong. Man, come on. For real. Never seen a quarterback terrorist. Right, right. Come on. You know, for sure they need to get back to how it was done, right? Because like you said, I understand there's always going to be a new way of doing things, though. But having the old school principles, right? You can evolve and however you want to evolve, right? Just like everything is evolved, like technology has evolved. You can evolve with however you want to evolve. But having that old school baseline of principles, right? Of working toward things like that, the ethic, man, the taking care, man, they need to get back to that, man. They need to get back to that, man. Just like for instance, like you'll see in a boxer, right? They want to do all this strength and conditioning stuff though, but they don't put work in what they need to put in the area that they need to put work in, which is more boxing, which is putting more hours into their craft of getting better at boxing. They want to do all these fancy ass training, all these weightlifting, but they neglect one of the most important things, which is to box. Just like these football players. They want to do all this fancy ass stuff, right? But they neglect to do what they need to do, right? Just like for instance, let's go ahead and use number 11 as a as an example, right? Athletic than a mother, right? But working on his craft, the hours that he needs to put in uh for a football player and getting better at his craft, he don't do it. Because somebody who is playing defensive end the way that he's playing should be putting in the hours into getting his craft better, which in his case would be to improve his hand usage. There was a coach, man, I learned for, man, he had that Buster Rhymes thing, right? In regards to get to help us continue to use our hands, right? Because that's something that needs repetition and you got to keep practicing and keep working it, right? Just like, man, like when I was playing, right, we would work hands every single practice. Before, after, during, we working hands all day long, right? But there was a coach, man. He was like, "Put your hands where with that Buster Rhymes. Put your hands where my eyes can see." And as you can see, right, when number 11 get to the quarterback, he don't put his hands where his eyes can see. His hands is down. That's why they talking about, oh man, he's getting these whole no because he's not using his hands. But all that working with Whitworth and doing all that stuff, doing all that boxing, all of that's for show. What boxing gonna do for you if you ain't got no plan for no hands in general? You have no move. I could tell you off the rip, his go-to move and his only move, which is to take an inside release. He's gonna go inside. That's it. You might see him chop a hand down maybe like once every 15 games. That's it. He only has one move. One move. He might try to stutter step an interior guard, but other than that, he has no moves, which makes him an easier target. When people compliment him, they compliment him on his God given, which is his athleticism. But they don't compliment him in regards to the technical side of the game, which a lot of these players is lacking, right? You can see these players on, like, of course, route running for a wide receiver was always something that needed to be worked on coming into the NFL. But you can see like these players is like in their route running is getting dumbed down more and more. They only running like two routes, right? They ain't even on these wide receivers, man. They not catching enough footballs. They're not perfecting their routes. You know, it's getting ridiculous. The like get offs for a D lineman it's over with, right? You're not seeing these D linemen get off the ball, right? We used to work get offs every practice. Soon as we go to individual periods as a defensive line, off the rip, we starting off, we warming the body up. Guess what we doing? We getting off the ball. And if you get off sides, and if that get off ain't quicker, you got 10 up downs off the rip. So when you see stuff like that, you could tell, right, that coaching is not what it should be and what it used to be. The hungriness of the player to want to improve their craft, to want to be the best, is not where it should be. You'll see these players put more time and effort into a podcast, into getting equipment for a podcast, into having topics for a podcast, more than the craft that even got them to even get any type of listeners to listen to their podcast. Cold game out here, ain't it? Cold game out here. It's ridiculous out here, man. And it's only going to get worse. If you got any upcoming athletes, uh, by you just putting by you just making them strong mentally, you probably going to be better than 85% of these players by just having a strong mentality. you know, and the rest you're just putting in the work, putting in the repetitions. Because man, the more it's getting ridiculous out here. They just freestyling. They just playing, right. The NFL and the NBA is just gonna be pickup ball pretty soon. It's gonna be pickup ball. Man, it's ridiculous. But that training staff though, for the Dallas Cowboys, it ain't it. Right? It ain't it. Bland, Diggs, probably Overshown. Shit, Tyler Guyton. Uh, who else, man? Any other of these players, man? I do got one statement that I want to make because I was thinking about something right before I got on here. Right? Y'all know, uh, earlier in the year, man, when we was doing our scouting thing, and we had talked about Marshawn Nealon, right? And we had talked about how, at least from my perspective, that he would be a better, all right, he would be a better D tackle than he would be a defensive end. And I was just thinking, right, especially the way that the league has gone, right? And you can see, like, look at the Super Bowl winners, right? Let me go ahead and put it into perspective, right? Aaron Donald, D tackle. Chris Jones, hell of a D tackle. Fletcher Cox, hell of a D tackle, right? Look at some of these Super Bowl winners, right? They have an elite D tackles. So here my thing. Marshawn Nealon may not be no Chris Jones, but I think Marshawn Nealon, well, what he got, and you put some weight on him, which is gonna make him stronger, and which is gonna, and he don't have an advantage rushing over tackles, left tackles especially. He don't have an advantage. But I believe that, right, because hear me out. Because y'all remember, man, when they put Ghostin in, I told him that it was a mistake to put Ghostin at three tech, and he put him at defensive end, and Ghostin is having his best season as a Cowboy. Trust me on this, Cowboy Nation. If they fatten him up, and I'm talking about Marshawn Nealon, and they make him into a D tackle, a three tech, I think I I I think you got a 6 to 8 sack player consistently on this team. You're doing him a disservice by having him out at defense end. I think because he's strong, he has shock in his hands. You see these guards of today, they're not good. They're high. Their leverage is high, and him being strong and having that knockback power, bro. I think that boy can be a 6 to 8 consistently defensive tackle sack getter. I think that will help with your D tackles, and you need somebody that can get upfield. And seeing him rush right uh, at tackle, if you put that same what he got into in the interior, he will have an advantage. Y'all remember Darius Robinson? I don't know what he doing with Arizona Cardinals, but that man can play some football, right? It's kind of he in the same situation as Marshawn Miller, but I believe Arizona made him into a D tackle, but I think they playing at 34 though. So I think that's gonna hinder him a little bit. I think he's playing I think at times a 5 shade and a 3 shade and maybe a 2 eye shade if I'm not mistaken. If they made that boy into a 3 tech and just get him upfield, bro, the way he was doing in the SEC when he was over there in Missouri, that man is a baller in the interior. And if Arizona don't use him, they're gonna waste him too. Marshawn Nealon, bro, he's not a defensive end. You could see him strong. You could see the way that he holds the edge, especially at times when he wrong arms some tackles. He has the strength, even in his rookie body. Now just think, bro, he's not even in his grown man body yet. And he's strong now. Just think about when he continues to be in that weight room, continues to grow as a man. And you fatten him up, bro. That is one of your answers at 3 tech. I'm telling you, y'all. If 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 Zimmer understands to rush him more in the interior, I think you'll start seeing some good things. He's gonna win just off of his hustle alone, his strength alone, and he'll be able to, his athleticism best fits the interior alignment and have an advantage for that. I will try it. As you can see, they're fumbling everybody else. Mozzie Smith, they keep talking about his athleticism, bro. Mozzie Smith, as a 315 pound, 320 pound player, is ineffective. But Mozzie Smith goes back to his weight back at Michigan, if not more, with what he has, then that's when you say he's athletic for his size and he could do some things and he'll be stronger. Right now, the best attributes that he had at Michigan, you don't see it because one, he don't want to put the weight on for whatever reason. That's it. His strength, he's missing that. And if he's going to continue to play at this weight, because he's already soft-minded, right? If he's going to continue to, because they somebody he don't want to go back at his weight, you need to cut him because he's not going to do nothing for the Dallas Cowboys playing at the weight that he's playing with. Cut him. I'm telling you, man, the Dallas Cowboys is botching a lot of these players. Bland, I will go get me another outside corner this draft. Shit, I'll go. You know who I'm calling up? Hey, Detroit, I see you drafted Aaron Rakestraw from Missouri. Hey, you're not using him? I'm shipping the second, third off the rip for Rakestraw. Bro, that man could play football, man. I know what I seen. Off the rip. That's why they drafted him and Arnold. Come on, man. Detroit seen it. I'm hey, Rakestraw. I'm calling him up. But I'm telling you, there's players that you missed out on that's already proven that the Dallas Cowboys can call up and make a move. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, man. At linebacker, bro, I wouldn't worry about drafting one. I would get one that's already proven or that's already been in the league for a year or two. They already missed out on a linebacker that I like, Jack Campbell. Guess where he's at? Detroit. It seemed like Detroit gets the players that I keep telling that's ballers. So whoever the scouting, the GM, in the scouting department in Detroit, Dallas need to be going ahead and try to get them because I'm telling you, bro, you missing ballers. One thing that Dallas Cowboys do well is get offensive linemen. The top five offensive line that I had in the draft, they drafted. Cooper Beebe was a top five interior player. I think I had him at what, four or something like that? Top five interior player. He's showing that. Guyton, he ain't showed you all, but his feet was one of the best. Now you got to get him stronger. That Penn State, was it? BYU tackle. Chiefs got him. Another one. Was it Kingsley? Another one. I'm telling you, man. I know what I see. You want another wide receiver? Call up the New England Patriots. Hey, you got a player, man. He used to went to Alabama, but he went to Central Florida or whatever. His name is Javon Baker. That man is a baller. They are not using him right. I will send a pick. See, you should have sent a pick to go get him instead of that dude off of the Carolina Panthers, Mingo. You need to go call for Javon Baker. Hey, Javon, you need to make that call for. Bro, I'm telling you, man, that man can play football. Look at the pedigree he had. Nick Saban brought him in off the rip. That should tell you something. Nick Saban, but he went because he felt that, I seen his dad said something that, he kind of got in the way. Nick Saban, didn't think if he would have stayed under Nick Saban, you'd probably be looking at him different right now. That man could play football. I told you, there wasn't a big difference between him and Harrison. Come on, man, go back to my scout. I'm telling you, man, I'm on point. There's a lot of ballers that's being missed. And I'm going to tell y'all right this, though, Cowboy Nation, right? I'm going to tell you like this, too. I'm going to pay attention to the college football playoffs, right? See, I know some of these players, man, that's doing good in college, is just going to end up maybe being good players in the NFL, above average, maybe average, right? But if Genty is who is as advertised, and he balled in these playoffs, and when I look at him and I see what I think I might see, and where the Dallas Cowboys is trading, I think you have I'm going to pick at. I think you have a hard time probably passing him up. But I'm going to confirm with you when I watch him in the playoffs. I'm going to confirm. We're going to talk, right? I'm going to confirm with you. And if I think, and if he's who many say that he is, because off the rip, I think he the Heisman. What he's doing with Boise State is impressive. It's impressive. He's the Heisman Trophy winner. He might not get it, though, but he's a Heisman Trophy winner. Off the rip, that's impressive what he doing. Off the rip. When you see running backs that do something like that, come on, it translates. But I want to see him against some more better competition, though. Right? And you're going to see it in the playoffs. It's going to be interesting. The Dallas Cowboys need that. They need a running back that can make plays, like a Bijan, like a Saquon. They need that in the backfield with whoever's going to be at quarterback for now and the future. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. Safety, they need a ball hawk. They're going to have to get another pass rusher. Go look for some interiors, offensive linemen, and see. And I'm going to tell you something right there. This is my last point. I'm about to go get me something to eat. If for some reason they don't like Trey Lance, you know who I'm calling? Ding, 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 ding. I'm calling New York. I'm calling the New York Jets. Hey, man, you got that Florida State QB. Hey, man, you talking about you might go in the draft? Hey, what you want for him? He was a top 5 quarterback when we looked at him. He could play some football. I rest my case. All right, y'all. I'll see y'all tomorrow. About to go get me something to eat.